Audio Jungle.
The new Apple Watch models go on sale on Friday.It is the first major redesign of the product since Apple first released it in 2015. The Apple Watch Series 4 has a bigger screen and new health sensors, and its thinner too.But specs don't really matter in day-to-day use. What matters is how the watch works, especially considering these models start at $400, a steep price for a watch or an iPhone accessory. Apple lent a bunch of bloggers and publications new Apple Watch units ahead of Friday's launch, including TechRadar, CNBC, Hodinkee, The New York Times, USA Today, the Sydney Morning Herald, Women's Health, BuzzFeed News, TechCrunch, and The Verge. In conclusion, it's a great gadget for fitness fans, but people with older models may not need to upgrade. Here's what they had to say. Design.TechRadar: if you're going to notice something about this watch though, it's that it looks bloomin' different. While it's nowhere near edge-to-edge as some are suggesting it is, it's certainly a lot larger and more rounded, giving the impression of a rounder timepiece without losing the benefit of a square display. Speed.The New York Times: a less obvious, though still useful, change is the watch's speed. Apple emphasized that the device was 2 times faster than the third-generation model, which was already zippy. The speed difference was most noticeable when using Siri, Apple's voice assistant.Display.USA today. Aside from the new health features, one reason I'm seriously thinking about an upgrade comes with an edge-to-edge display that provides more than 30% extra screen real estate, whether you opt for the bigger 44mm case or the 40mm version. On a modest-sized screen, 30% is a lot, and the payoff for consumers comes with larger text and bigger buttons, again, a potential boon for older people. Battery life.CNBC: the battery life is good too. Apple advertises 18 hours of use. I took the Apple Watch Series 4 off of the charger on Friday morning. I drove to the beach that evening and realized I'd forgotten my charger. I turned it off Saturday night and still had 16% left on Sunday at 3 p.m. I'd worn the Apple Watch all day each day and even used it to track workouts and make sure I closed all of my rings. That's good enough for me. Software.CNBC: I love the new Apple Watch faces that are in watchOS 5, and many were designed to take advantage of the larger display on the new edition. There's one mode that looks like the Apple Watch face is burning, which just looks cool. But my favorite one lets me set 8 different complications so I can quickly do things like access the exercise app, the weather, and check my heart rate. Style and feel.Hodinkee: the most apparent size difference is actually the thickness, the 0.7mm shaved off the back, mostly from the sensor array, makes a huge difference in terms of comfort, and you feel it the moment you put one of these new models on. Health.The New York Times: people with heart problems can easily use the EKG app to take electrocardiograms whenever they sense something abnormal, without the rigmarole I went through. And the data can be shared immediately with their doctor, which could open a conversation about next steps, like going in for a visit or modifying treatment. I'm not recommending it for most people as anything other than just a novelty, said Dr. Ethan Weiss, the cardiologist who took my EKG. Fitness.Women's Health. As a runner, I'm also loving the new metrics you can track during jogs. Cadence, how many strides you take per minute, is helping me hone in on my most efficient stride. Rolling mile pace allows me to see exactly how fast I ran the last mile of my run, no matter how far along I am. And the battery lasts up to 6 hours on outdoor runs, so you're good to go if you're training for a long race like a half marathon or triathlon. Price and conclusion.CNBC. The Apple Watch Series 4 is super expensive, especially if you want the larger screen and cellular. If you want the better-looking stainless steel case and sapphire display, which is more resistant to scratching, you'll pay at least $699.